You should not have a goal physique.
Pah!
And by this, I don't mean you shouldn't have goals. Goals are extremely important. However, you should not have another person as a goal physique. And this is for a few reasons, including drugs, genetics, lifestyle, and motivation. I see this all the time. I ask people their goals, and they send me back this picture of like this clearly roided up sports model, and they say, "Coach, help me look like this guy." So, first of all, drugs. If you see someone who is big, shredded, vascular, especially year-round, they are almost certainly on drugs. It could be steroids, it could just be TRT, but they are almost certainly not natural. If you can maintain a low body fat year-round and be big and be strong at the same time, probably not natural, okay? So you have to realize that if it's a professional sports person in a strength and power sport, there is a pretty good likelihood that they have used steroids at some point. Similarly, if you see a Hollywood actor who goes from like looking kind of flabby to being big and shredded at the same time, it's not from the chicken breast and broccoli, okay? They're on something. And so if you send me a picture of some Hollywood celebrity who looks like $1 million, realize that that is not really a suitable goal. If you are willing to do steroids, to do other drugs, yeah, maybe that's realistic. But if you are not, it is instantly not realistic because that is a huge gap. Even if it is TRT, that is a huge advantage. Taking your natural hormonal production out of the equation gives you massive advantages. Even if your testosterone is in the normal range, it is still a big advantage. So if you see someone, especially if they're a little bit older, maybe 40 to 50 years old, and they're big and they're shredded and it's year round and they're vascular and they look amazing, year round, probably not natural. And if they had any balls, well, maybe their balls have shrunk, but if they had any figurative balls, they would admit it because it is deceptive not to do so. Another factor is genetics. If you want to look like Superman, if you send me a picture and say, "Coach Jeff, I want to look like Superman," and you send me a picture of yourself and you have extremely narrow shoulders, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, I'm not a magician. I can't just add bone in places to your structure. It's just not going to happen. And so you have to be realistic with your frame and with your structure. Also, muscle bellies, okay? If you have very short biceps, very peaky biceps that don't really fill out the entire arm, and you send me a picture of like Sergio Olivia's arms and say, "Coach, which exercises can I do to get arms like this?" Well, first, drugs, obviously. Second, it's just not going to happen. Short of some weird surgery that might not exist, you're not going to be able to change where the muscle and where the tendon inserts into your body. Nowhere is this more important than with the abdominals. The abdominals can look like a 4-pack, like a 6-pack, like an 8-pack. They can be symmetrical, they can be not symmetrical, they can be bloated outwards, they can be sucked inwards like a vacuum. There are literally hundreds of combinations when it comes to abs. If you see someone like Ulysses, who has this perfectly symmetrical 8-pack look, and you don't have the genetics for that look, guess what? Even if you take steroids, even if you get super lean, even if you do all the crunches in the world, even if you do his 8-pack program, it's not going to happen. Another factor is body fat percentage. If you look at some of these guys, they've always been lean. For them, if they say, "Oh, I feel fat today," they're like 11% body fat. And so I've actually had clients, I'm not going to name any names, or actually this wasn't a client, it's just some guy who kept messaging me on Instagram. He said, "Oh, I want to get down to 5 to 9% body fat." And he was like 35% body fat. Guess what? If you are 35% body fat or 40% body fat, you're not going to be able to get down to 9% body fat, let alone 5%. That is extremely lean. 5% is basically stage condition, okay? So if you are naturally lean, yes, maybe it's possible, but you won't even be able to maintain it. But if you are naturally not lean, that is a ridiculous goal. So if you're 40% body fat and you send me a picture of like some shredded sports model and say, Coach, this is my goal, I'm going to tell you that's not a good goal, okay? Some coaches might butter you up. They might say, oh, go do some crunches. Not me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say it's not going to happen. Yes, maybe you can starve yourself to get down to such a low body fat percentage, but you're going to rebound hard. And it's not going to be healthy. It's not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be feasible. And so I would rather just tell you up front, shoot for 30%. Then shoot for 25%, then shoot for 20%. Then maybe, if you feel good at 20% for a month or two, shoot for 15%, okay? Because going close to 10% for most people, let alone if you've been very overweight and obese before, it's just not gonna happen. Another factor is lifestyle. If you look at some of these Hollywood celebrities, not even talking about the substances they might or might not be using, their lifestyle is going to be very, very different from yours, especially when they're preparing for a film. If someone is training to be Batman or Superman or whatever shirt-off dude man, it's going to be very intense for a few months leading up to the film. They're going to have personal trainers. They're going to have a very structured diet. They're going to make a lot of sacrifices. So you also need to think about motivation. For them, they know in 2 months they're going to be shirtless in front of millions, if not billions, of people. That is a massive amount of motivation. And you should ask yourself, do I have the same motivation as this celebrity or sports star or whatever? Probably not. Furthermore, often they don't even maintain it. Do you want a physique that you maintain for a month? Or do you want a physique that you maintain for a year, and 2 years, and 5 years, and 10 years, and for the rest of your damn life? Ask yourself, which is more important? Because when you look at these celebrities, when you look at these people who don't actually maintain this physique, you're looking at a tiny screenshot, a snapshot of their life that is not real. And so, if you send me a picture of someone who looks amazing and say, this is my goal, I might need to inform you that this is not a good goal. Also keep in mind that you might not even be seeing reality. I know that's a ridiculous statement, but some people, they work out in perfect lighting. Nothing else. You never see them in bad lighting. It's always perfect lighting. They set things up so that it's always this top-down lighting that adds 20 pounds of muscle and subtracts 10 or 20 pounds of fat. And they always look amazing because it is crafted. It's a show, okay? It's literally produced to make themselves look good. And you can't do that all the time, okay? Even if you do everything they do, the drugs, the steroids, the lifestyle, the restriction, the sacrifices, everything, you're not going to be satisfied if you try to look like they look on Instagram or YouTube or any other platform. Furthermore, if you look at some guy on a magazine, that's not even a real picture, okay? They Photoshop the shit out of those pictures, okay? It's not even real. They gloss it over, they add all kinds of filters, they touch it up, the shadows, everything is just perfect, and it's so easy to feel inadequate. It's just not a good situation to compare yourself to other people. Use it as a goal, but make sure that goal is actually applicable and applicable to you. So, I hate to use this cliche, I really do, but you should try to become the best you should try to become the best version. I can't believe I'm saying this. You should try to become the best version of yourself, okay? Just based on your own genetics, try to beat yourself from before. That sounded dirty, but try to become a better version of yourself. I kind of hate that quote, but it applies, okay? Just realize your own limitations and try to do the best that you can. Wow, I really nailed that last section. I'm such a good talker. So yeah, anyway, based on your own genetics, your own drug choices, your own frame, muscle insertions, body fat, lifestyle, motivation, schedule, etc., try to do the best that you can. It's important not to have unrealistic expectations. And actually, I saw the other day, there was a proposed bill law in the UK that said celebrities that use Instagram, they need to disclose if the picture has been edited or not. So do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll share my opinion maybe in next video, but I think it's definitely an interesting discussion. Alright, that is all for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!